So I kept just having this really bad shoulder pain to the point where I actually came down one night in tears and was like, Dad, I was like, my shoulder hurts so bad. And so he pulled up my shirt to look at my shoulder, and there he could actually very visibly see a mass. I remember it really vividly. My parents called me downstairs into the living room, and I came down and my whole family was there, and it was all very solemn. And I sat down and my parents were like, Kayla, we have to tell you something. You're gonna be very sick. You've been diagnosed with cancer, but we're gonna do everything in our power to make sure that you're well. And I remember the first thought in my head was, am I gonna die? At that time, the only encounters I had with cancer was death. And I was 9 and I was terrified. And when I asked my parents that question, they both started crying, which is when I realized, like, this is very, very serious. What I thought was, like, I'm gonna be living in the hospital, my childhood's gonna be over. I was terrified of losing my hair, and I did lose my hair, and just thought that that was it, like it was going to absolutely define me. No one really told me my prognosis of my cancer because I think my parents were trying to shield me, and honestly, I'm glad they did. When my dad went to school, Ewing sarcoma was kind of a death sentence. So I went into the hospital every 2 weeks, and each stay was inpatient. So I'd go in for 5 days at a time, come home for 2 weeks, and then go in for 48 hours at a time, and then kind of just repeat that. And I did that cycle for an entire year. I was very fortunate. I grew up in a wonderful Christian home, and God has been the center of everything, and so that was pivotal. And because even though it was a really hard, terrible experience, God became very, very real that year, and was also really instrumental to me in becoming a doctor, because my oncologist was amazing and kind and compassionate, and I really want to emulate that. I think it shows you that your patients are real humans. They're not just another diagnosis, another number on your chart. They are children, their daughters, their brothers and sisters and wives and husbands. It's really taught me that it's important to make sure that I connect with my patients in that kind of human way. I wish I could say that my life has been sunshine and roses since that time, but it hasn't. I've had a lot of obstacles since then, and I think reflecting back on this has shown me that, like, God brought me through that terrible time. He'll bring me through this obstacle, and so it's really just given me a hopeful outlook on life.